Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Lewis Brown. Today is September 6th, 2022. Hopefully you had a great Labor Day 3-day weekend. Normally I do my videos on Wednesday evening at 6:30 on Facebook and also on Zoom. Tonight I'm doing a Facebook Live only video starting here at 5:30. Why is it so important that I do a video today? Well, I'm going to explain this to you, and then you'll see why I'm doing it. On Labor Day, September 5th, yesterday, our current governor, Gavin Newsom, signed a bill called the Fast Recovery Act. The Fast Recovery Act. Why is that important to Local 1000? I put it up on Facebook. Fast food workers will go from $15 an hour to $22 an hour. Now, how soon will that be? That we don't know. They're already scheduled for a 50-cent pay increase on January 1st, 2023. But with this Fast Recovery Act that the governor signed, fast food workers, not all the fast food restaurants, but a majority of them, the ones that have 100 restaurants or more, like McDonald's, Burger King, those workers will go from $15 an hour to $22 an hour. What does that mean? That means, if you do the math, I did the math, I put that up on my Facebook post, $22 minus 15, wait for it, it's just not coming to me. $22 minus 15 is a $7 increase. There's the mystical number. Yes, you're absolutely right. Anybody who wants to chip in tonight, just text me. I'll bring you on. $7. A $7 increase for fast food unskilled workers. That's a good pay increase. That's substantial. $7 is the number. And there's the mystical number 7 that I won the election on. At the very beginning, 7 days, and at the very end, 7 days. $7. What is that in percentage? Rounded, 47%. There's my number 74 in reverse. 47% rounded for unskilled fast food workers. And then you wonder why they're trying to run me out of Local 1000. You wonder why. Because I told you you were worth a 21% pay increase across the board for everyone equally. That's what I've been telling you for years. We have $100 billion in surplus. Yes, we do. And that's what they're telling you about. If I'm talking a little loud, forgive me. I'm trying to talk above the air conditioner. But I want you to hear me loud and clear tonight, because these other Local 1000 leaders will not tell you what I will tell you. That's why they follow my lead. The governor, Gavin Newsom, on Labor Day, in his effort to help fast food unskilled workers, created the Fast Recovery Act, which will create a council, and they're going to increase wages for fast food workers, not for all of them, but for some of them, for restaurants that have a large chain, like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, from $15 an hour to $22 an hour, $7 increase, the number 7. 47% rounded for a percentage increase, 47%. I am not against fast food workers. No, I'm not. Anybody who's able to, quote, get a substantial pay increase, that is great for you and your family. My question is, you, state employees, and not just of Local 1000, but all the different bargaining units. I'll get to that in one second. I'm glad you brought that up, Colleen. We all deserve a substantial pay increase. And as someone just mentioned, that's more than some of our people in Local 1000 are getting paid. An example, CDCR lab assistants. I should have ran the spreadsheet. Forgive me for that. But fast food workers are going to be making more money per hour than many of our represented employees of Local 1000. Yes, I see you too. More than most state jobs? Possibly. Yes, it's ridiculous. Why am I the only Local 1000 leader who's taking his time? Well, I guess that's why I was elected president. But why am I the only one to tell you the truth? Why have I been the only one to tell you the truth all along for all of these years? Why? Give me one moment. One moment. All right. Why? Because that's who I am. That's what you elected me to do. Tell you the truth. Give you the tough news. The good news, the bad news, all the news, so you can make an informed decision. Let me say this to you. I'm hot. I'm hot. It's hot outside. But not as hot as I am, and many of you are, when we heard about this Fast Recovery Act that was signed by Governor Newsom on Labor Day to help non-skilled fast food workers. Now, there's nothing wrong with helping people. Nothing wrong with giving somebody a $7 pay increase. Nothing wrong with that. It sounds good. 47% pay increase. And when people were dogging me, criticizing me, saying to you I had lost my natural born mind, these are the same people who are all for this political act that the governor did on Labor Day. They're all for it. Fight for 15. Open up the immigration. Open up the walls to our country. Let everybody come across our border. I want you to understand something. There is nothing wrong with being righteous. Nothing wrong with giving someone a substantial pay increase to help them provide for their families. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. However, we're a union, and we've been fighting for respect, financial respect, and dignity in the workplace for how many years? From the time Local 1000 got started as a civil service division under the California State Employees Association, CSCA. That's how long we've been fighting. That's how long. We're a union. We should get a substantial pay increase for a period of time with absolutely no threat of a job loss. Your job should be secure. Not only this Fast Recovery Act, that they're getting a $7 pay increase, 47% pay increase. It also said this, up to 3.5% of the CPI on a yearly basis. In other words, if the CPI, Consumer Price Index, goes up, as long as it doesn't go up past 3.5%, their salaries will be increased for these fast food workers. So when I was telling you that we should have COLA and GeoPay, I wasn't crazy, because they're getting it. You say, well, what's the big deal with the CPI? The CPI, the Consumer Price Index, quote, let me give you the definition of it, the measure of the average change in time paid in prices paid by urban consumers for a basket of consumer goods and services. The CPI is used by the COLA for Social Security. Okay? That's why it's important. Because what that does is, when you get a pay increase, then businesses raise their services and products because they know you have more money to spend. So if you ensure in your contract that you have a COLA, now you can keep up to a degree with inflation and possibly the healthcare premiums. That's really important. Let me say it for you again. Fast Recovery Act signed on Labor Day by Governor Gavin Newsom gives fast food workers a $7 pay increase from $15 up to $22. A 47% pay increase. I agree, COLA adjustment should be automatic. Now, and then they'll also get up to a 3.5% of the CPI on a yearly basis. I want everyone to hear what I'm saying when I'm saying this to you. Because we want everyone to make enough money to feed their family. When you hear someone say a livable wage, don't ever say that. That's what poor people do. They live day to day. They're living day to day. As union represented employees, you should not be living day to day. You should have a substantial salary so you can save money to put your kids through college so they won't need the government to pay their loans off. You should be saving your money so in case you have an illness and your insurance doesn't cover all of the illness, your hospital stay, you have money set aside. You shouldn't have to live in debt. You shouldn't have to live paycheck to paycheck like many of us do. Don't ever say livable wage. That's what Local 1000 wants you to say. You never heard me say that livable wage. You need a substantial wage so you can save money for a rainy day or for a hot day. All right? Don't say livable wage. See, they want you to say livable wage, but do the rich people say livable wage? No, they do not, and they never will. All right, it's 5:42. I've been going on since 5:30 for 12 minutes, as fast as I can. Anyone who wants to come on, just go on Facebook and send a message, and I'll bring you on. I want you to understand something. People getting pay increases of this magnitude, it sounds fantastic. Who gets hurt? Because Local 1000 won't tell you this. This is a political action by this current governor so he can build his resume to run for the White House. Who gets hurt in the process? All right, let's take a look at this. $47% pay increase for fast food, unskilled workers. You had a 7% pay increase over a 4-year contract. Do the quick math. You're down 40%. Okay, you're down 40%. Let me explain something to you. This is where going to college actually pays off. At least for people who majored in business, finance, accounting, marketing. When a company is told you will raise your employees' wages, they don't do it on their own, or even if they did it on their own. Let me tell you how this game works. When you force McDonald's to go from $15 an hour to $22 an hour, guess what McDonald's does? They say, okay, their shareholders are not going to say, yes, we'll take a reduction in our dividends. They're not doing that. That's not capitalist America. They don't have that type of righteousness in them. So when you tell a company, you will pay your workers through the government this much money, the company turns around and says, okay, we'll pay from $15 an hour to $22 an hour. What they don't tell the public is, and you find this out on your own, they raise the price at McDonald's. So the same people whose wages are being increased from $15 to $22 an hour, who think they're going to get ahead, won't get ahead. They won't get ahead because they're going to raise the price on their food that they sell at McDonald's. How can that be, Richard? You should have gone to college, everyone. You say, well, I couldn't afford to go. No, don't even worry. I'll help you out. And before someone says, well, Richard, you're just happy because President Biden is paying off $10,000 of your financial aid. Wrong answer. I paid my way through college. Try again. Try again. Okay? All right. So the people who think they're going to get ahead, going from $15 an hour to $22 an hour, all these companies are going to do. Hold on. Wait a minute. Scott, give me a second. We'll get to that. Great point, Scott. We'll get to what he just said. They're just going to raise the price of their goods, the food that they sell, to cover that $7 pay increase that they have to pay their hourly workers. All right. Are you still with me, everyone? Hopefully everyone is still with me. Give me a thumbs up if you're still with me. Someone send a text, say if you're still with me or not. Are you still with me? Okay, good. Good, good, good. All right, all right. So, people who think they're going to get ahead, those fast food workers, from $15 an hour to $22 an hour, no. Now, listen to this. Now, listen to this. Not only will McDonald's raise their price of the food that they sell, but all the other restaurants in that industry will also raise their price because you got more money to spend. Even if those restaurants are not paying their people from $15 an hour to $22, they're not paying that. Because remember, only certain restaurants, the big, large restaurant chains who are, quote, 100 or more, will have to go from $15 an hour to $22 an hour. But they're going to raise their goods, the price of what they sell their food for. But the other restaurants will also have to do the same thing because the workers now have more money. But it doesn't stop there. You thought that rent was high? You got more money to spend? They're going to raise your rent. Rent's going to go up. Gas will go regardless of how much money you have. But rent will go up. Now here, listen to this. We want people to have more money, but you cannot give someone a pay increase without keeping the costs of goods and services at the same price they were. Because the businesses will just raise their costs to pass on that cost. They're not going to eat that cost. The consumers will eat that cost. And this is where one of your two major political parties is absolutely right. By money, they're right. Unless you can keep the prices of goods and services at one point while increasing someone's paying their salary, they won't get ahead. So someone says, why are we talking about this? I'm glad you brought that up. And then I'm going to get to what someone else said about robots. When they increase the price of goods and services to offset that 47% pay increase they had to pay their hourly workers, it's not those people who will get hurt just by themselves. Because all the rest of us will now have to pay more money at McDonald's even though we didn't get a 47% pay increase. That's why we're talking about this. And this is why Local 1000 will never talk about this with you. They'll never tell you the truth about this. And so when people say, oh, just do the math, do the math, do the math. You do the math. I've done enough math in my life. That's why we're talking about this. So they claim that they're trying to help people. And they you know, it sounds good. But if you can't keep the level of goods and services at its current level while increasing someone's hourly wage, they're just going to jack up those prices. So you say, well, Richard, when you were asking for that 20% pay increase across the board for everyone, what's the difference? The difference is we have a pension. And that's going to help that pension over the long term. And so I want people to understand this, because Local 1000 will not tell you this. As long as they can try to run me out of office and I don't have my presidential powers, they're not going to tell you this. And they'll send out an email saying how great this was. This wasn't great. It appears to be great. When you increase someone's wages from $15 an hour to $22 an hour so they can take care of their families for a no-skill job, that sounds like righteousness. It sounds like righteousness. But if you're going to be completely righteous, then you have to make sure that businesses don't increase their costs. Because all a business is going to do is the amount of money that they have to now pay employees at fast food businesses, they're just going to pass that cost on to the consumer. And that consumer is not just those people who work at the fast food restaurants. It's going to be the poor and the middle class. The rich don't care. This is facts. Someone said what McDonald's may do, or other large restaurant chains, 100 or more restaurant chains may do, put robots in and take away your job because it's more cost effective. Now, hold on. That leads into the next conversation. Oh boy, we're rolling tonight. It's 5:52. If McDonald's says, well, we don't want to pay, or we'll pay this money, but we're going to eliminate some of these jobs and replace it with robots, the fast food workers don't have a union. Well, now you start going to the politics. How did this fast recovery act even come to existence? Because of politics. Because there's a certain union that wants to organize these fast food workers, fight for 15, open immigration. There's a certain union that wants to, quote, unionize these workers so they can fight against, quote, the creation of the robots. Who is it? SEIU International. That's who it is. And they're probably not by themselves. See how this game works? How did these fast food workers who've been complaining for years all of a sudden get the governor to do this? Because somebody saw a way to make money off of this. The governor saw a way to build his resume to run for the White House, but SEIU International saw a way for them to swoop in and try to organize these fast food workers into a union so that they can charge the fast food workers a certain percentage of their salary, which is going to eat into that $7 an hour increase. And now they can control the fast food workers. You thought I missed that? I didn't miss anything. I haven't missed anything. Have you? Did Local 1000 tell you all this information? Hopefully you'll share this video. Of all the videos that I've done, and I've done a lot of videos, hopefully people are talking to their co-workers and saying, we cannot lose Richard as our Local 1000 president. He was voted in. We must respect the voters' voices. And we just can't let people run away someone who they disagree with. This is why I'm talking about this that happened on Labor Day, September 5th, 2022. Fast Recovery Act, signed by the governor, to give fast food workers a 47% pay increase from $15 an hour to $22 an hour. And who's going to pay for that? We are. Not McDonald's, not Wendy's, not Burger King. We're going to be the ones that eat that cost. The middle class and the working poor. And the people who are getting this pay increase, who think this is going to help them, it'll help them temporarily. Because remember, This is a livable wage. So you'll continue to live day to day. You'll never be able to substantially save money to better you and your family. Forget it. It won't happen. Because over a period of time, they're just going to raise the cost of the food they sell at fast food restaurants. And not just McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King, Carl's Jr. No, all these restaurants are going to raise their prices because you have more income to spend. And not only that, if you thought rent was going to go down, wrong answer. It's going to go up. When they passed this act, did they pass the Fast Recovery Act and say, but the price that the restaurant industry can charge on their food has to stay at a certain level for a period of time? Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. And this is where college education actually pays off. Certain things college teaches you. A business will not eat into their profits. They'll pass it on to the consumer and make you pay for it, you and I. But remember, we've never had a substantial pay increase for Local 1000. Have you ever had a substantial pay increase for Local 1000 that wasn't offset by the quote 3.5% OPEB? No. That wasn't offset by the tremendous increase in healthcare premiums? We've never had that. And if I'm not your president, if I'm not your chief negotiator, you'll never have it. I'm saying that. 557, September 6, 2022. I'm talking to you tonight as fast as I possibly can. If anyone has any questions about what I'm saying to you, put it in the comments. I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. I know it's hot outside, and I know this is not what you want to hear, but somebody has to tell you the truth. Somebody has to tell you the truth. Sometimes the Democrats are right. Sometimes the Republicans are right. You never hear about the Green Party, the Constitutional Party, the Libertarian Party. You never hear when they tell you the truth because they don't want you to hear that. What they want to do is divide us, the Democrats and the Republicans. Divide us racially with the racial issues. Because what that does, politics and race, what that does, it's the greatest protector, and I mean the greatest protector of the status quo that's all about the money. It's always about the money. As long as they can divide us between political parties and through race and religion, money is protected because the wealthy will always work with the other wealthy. Somehow, some way, they'll figure it out because there's too much money to be made. That's the history of America. This Fast Recovery Act is not what it's cracked up to be. There's no reason why we can't get a 21% pay increase in the next contract. $100 billion in surplus. There's absolutely no reason when the governor can sign the Fast Recovery Act where a council is put together and they're going to ensure that fast food workers in the state of California that work for corporations or businesses that have 100 restaurants or more will go from $15 an hour to $22 an hour, a 47% pay increase. If he can approve that, then he can approve a 21% pay increase for all represented state employees of Local 1000. Yes, I see you. Thank you very much. I try not to say people's names because I don't want to put no one on the spot. If I say someone's name, then they probably give me authority to do that. So, next point comes up. We should ask for a 40% increase too. You know what? She's right. I said 21%. That's what I campaigned on. That's what you have to hold me accountable to. These other people didn't campaign on anything for substantial pay increase. They never gave you a number. They said, well, we'll work with the state. How do you work with the state? How are you working with the state when the state has never worked with us? They've never honored their part of the contract. If they had, you would have lost out 2 days of pay for fiscal year 2021. If they honored their part of the contract, but they never have. And they never intend to because we won't take a stand and fight for what is right and enforce our contract. But yet we'll send people over to Norway thinking they can get ideas from Norway and bring it back to America. That's a joke. Any idea that's brought back from Norway, Gavin Newsom has already approved it already. Okay, well listen, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give you the truth. There is a reason, several reasons, all right, on why they're trying to run me out of office. I'm asking you to stay with me and keep listening to what I'm telling you. If you're not talking to your co-workers, you're not demanding that Local 1000 reinstate the president that was elected by membership, because we always tell Americans, vote in elections. Your vote matters. Well, if your vote matters, why are they trying to silence your vote right now if it matters so much? Why is that? Because they don't care about you, because they've been lying to you from the very beginning. Your vote only matters when a certain few say that it matters. It sounds good to tell someone their vote matters, but yet in the same hand, Local 1000, you're telling your voters the person they elected as president, you have to remove because he's a detriment to Local 1000. And that's an absolute Delilah lie. That's a Delilah lie from the ancient days to remove the power of voting in this great country. To everyone who has not given up on me or this union and on voting, I say thank you very much. Now, as you know, we'll do a video tomorrow evening. We'll talk more about this tomorrow evening, because the powers to be, those who want to remove me, they're going to watch this video and they're going to try to figure out how they can talk around what I've just said. But they can't. Because the truth is not in them. Because what I'm telling you ain't just the financial truth, it's the righteous truth. True yesterday, today, and tomorrow. You are worth a 21% pay increase, and as someone just stated, we're worth 40%. Why are these unskilled workers getting a 47% pay increase? And you can only get a 7% pay increase off the last contract for over 4 years. They're getting their money all at once. Listen to this. Listen to what I'm saying to you. This is why you have to watch my videos at the beginning, the middle, and the end. They're getting that $22 all at once. I didn't read where it's staged. Now maybe they'll come out later and say, well, we're going to do it in stages. It doesn't matter if you give that $7 increase in stages, because what you're going to do, listen how this trick works. All at one time. $7 increase from $15 to $22. And now the businesses, the fast food restaurants and other businesses, they're going to raise their stuff as quickly. But if you take that $7 and do it over a period of time, now the businesses can also raise their price of the goods and services they provide over a period of time. So you're never getting ahead. And this is why when someone's asking me, Richard, that 21% pay increase, how should we get it? All at one time. All at one time, so that if the businesses try to raise the cost for their goods and services, it will be apparent that you're doing that in relation to you getting a 21% pay increase all at one time. It will be clear and quite evident what they're doing. This is a trick. Remember when they were talking about Fight for 15? But that Fight for 15 wasn't going to help people, because they're going to raise the cost of goods and services. You cannot say, hey, we're going to pay people more money unless you maintain the price of goods and services. So you'd have to stop the free market. But wait a minute. If you force a business to pay their workers more money, which is what the federal minimum wage kind of does, Now you're interfering with the free market. So if you can interfere with the free market, then you can tell a company you can't raise the price of your goods and services. Now your capitalism is at stake. Now you're going to really turn into a socialist country. So when people say that they're trying to make America a socialist country, there's some truth to that. So how do you maintain your capitalist country and still mix in some socialism? If I had all those answers, I wouldn't be talking to you about being Local 1000 president. If I had all those answers. But there's a way to do it. Because you have to understand, if you love yourself and you love a higher power, or even if you don't even love a higher power, you don't believe in a higher power, you believe in a golden rule, you want to treat others the way you'd be treated, then it's not hard at all. Hold on 1 second here. I want to see this. Woo! Okay. So, sir, the state already knows the tax increase from giving raises to state employees before they give them out. Yes. Yes. He's right. I won't say his name unless he gives me permission. Before the state even gives out pay increases, they already know the tax implications. Yes. Great point. So, with that $22 an hour, $7 increase, they're already counting on the taxes they're going to get from it. Yes. That's a great point. Ooh, you got me on that one. That's a great point. Which is why you would wonder, why did they even accept the 50 and 25 for the temporary telework agreement? Because after taxes, it's peanuts. You know, if I had still been in there, I'm still the president. You know, they're taking my powers away. Thank you. Thank you for the respect. Thank you. But you would have never accepted that 50 and 25. It's ridiculous. So tonight, you've been hearing me talk about this money. You hear me talk about there's a conspiracy to remove me from office. That's not a conspiracy, that's a fact. You heard me talk about the racial aspect. That's a fact. Now I'm talking about the money. Because the plot to remove me from office is a fact. The racial aspect is a fact. But these two facts together are working to protect the status quo, which is money, the political spending of Local 1000. 6:08 p.m. on September 6, 2022. Now, I'm trying to talk loud. I'm trying to be energetic. I haven't cracked a lot of jokes tonight because people are not in a joking mood right now. These are facts that I'm giving you. This Fast Recovery Act sounds good on paper, but it's not. It's incomplete. Listen to this. When someone said about McDonald's hiring robots to replace workers, well, they're already talking about replacing workers in DMV. But you thought I missed that. You thought I was just for CCC in Lansing County. Nope. I'm for everyone represented by Local 1000, but actually I'm for everyone represented by all the public sector unions here in the state of California. Nobody should lose their job while under a signed contract. Why am I the first labor leader to tell you this? Out of all these public sector unions, why am I the first one to tell you this? Because I'm the only labor leader this state of California has ever had. You said, well, Richard, that sounds kind of arrogant for you to say that. Yes, it is. I'm confident in what I'm talking about. I believe in what I'm talking about. All right? Sorry, my light had gone dull for a second. Now the light's back on. All right. But you have to believe in what you're talking about. You have to have integrity. And because I have too much integrity, I'm too real, I'm too honest, and I'm taking on the status quo, this is why they're trying to remove me. And this is why I'm talking about this Fast Recovery Act. Before you get the email from Local 1000 telling you how great it is, let me tell you the truth. And let me say this. A lot of people know that I tell the truth. Not just represent employees of Local 1000. There's staff at Local 1000 that believes in me, but they've been silenced. See, the staff of Local 1000, they know all the great things that I've done for them. Oh, yes, they do. Oh, yes, they do. And when they were saying the staff was mad at me and this and that, that wasn't true. A vast majority of the staff loved me. Why? Money and respect. They never had been given that type of money before. Remember that 14% pay increase for UAW 2350 on October 1st, 2021? Do you remember that? Remember when they got mad at me? And they said, well, we're going to not come to work for 2 days? That was in the end of February of this year. I didn't write nobody up. I said, I respect their union because I'm not a hypocrite. And so I say these extra things to let you know I haven't given up on you. Please don't give up on me. When I ask you to do certain things, don't say, well, Rich is crazy, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Trust me. That was the problem when Moses led people out of, when he led them out of Egypt. Sometimes they had a hard time trusting Moses after they went through the Red Sea. So I know sometimes it's hard to trust when someone is truly inspired unless your spirit connects with their spirit. Everyone knows this, whether you like me or not. When it comes to money, Local 1000 cannot beat me. You'll never find a leader like me ever again. You'll never find a leader in Local 1000 that will tell you the truth on the money. You just won't see it. I know you won't. Unless that person wants to get run out of office. Let me say this for you again. These fast food workers are getting ready to get a 47% pay increase. $7 an hour, from $15 an hour to $22 an hour, with the Fast Recovery Act that was signed on Labor Day by Governor Gavin Newsom. A council will get created, and they're going to ensure that fast food workers who work at restaurant chains, 100 or more, will go from $15 an hour to $22 an hour. And they're going to get a yearly pay increase up to 3.5% of the CPI. Consumer Price Index. That Consumer Price Index is what COLA is based off of for Social Security. So when I was telling you about giving you a COLA and GO pay, I wasn't crazy at all. Why is the people who are calling me crazy the people who tell you that they love you? Because they don't love you. I told you I love you. This is a passion that I have. I'm not getting paid extra money for this. I want to see you do well because there's still hope in this great country. There are still people who can run for office, not lie, and tell the truth, and who have integrity, who won't let lobbyists buy them out. And as some people have been telling me tonight, I saw another comment just now, yes, $22 an hour will be more money than many Local 1000 represented employees. Office technicians in Local 1000, message received. I got it. I know you upset. You should ask Local 1000, run the numbers, tell me the average amount of money that the OTs are making in Local 1000. Or any other job classification. The lab assistants in bargaining unit 11, that should be reclassified to bargaining unit 20. You thought I missed that. I'm not missing anything. I'm fired up tonight. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm giving it to you. And it's unfortunate, I see the comment, that people will just go along to get along instead of standing up strong and doing what is right. But again, the harvest is great. 100 billion. The harvest is great. But the laborers are few. The laborers are few, but the harvest is great. So when people say, well, no, we shall overcome. Yeah, we can overcome, but many people don't want to overcome. That's why they have to tell you on that journey, don't stop believing. And so when I told you in the past that my love is as tall as the trees, as wide as the seas. When I told you this, you laughed at me. When I told you my love is for the whole world to see, you laughed. This is our love. Not just my love, this is about your love too. How much do you love Local 1000? We don't have to go back to the status quo. I've asked all of you, are you communicating with your co-workers to let them know? Call 866-471-7348 and let them know to put the president back in his rightful place, give him his powers back. What the heck is going on? I thought our vote mattered in this country. Your tax dollars are paying for those in the federal government to conduct all these hearings for January 6th because they said your vote matters and that we should respect the election results. Then why is it your dollars for Local 1000 as a dues-paying member is not being respected? Why is that? But yet, fast food workers are getting a 47% pay increase in the state of California. And it's going to be making more money than many of our Local 1000 represented employees. What is going on here? Let me say it for you again. When these fast food workers with the Fast Recovery Act that was signed on Labor Day by Governor Gavin Newsom allows them to go from $15 an hour to $22 an hour, 47% pay increase, and they think they're going to get ahead. And the only thing McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King, Carl's Jr., and all these other large franchise corporations are going to do is just raise the cost of the food. They're not going to eat that cost. We will pay for it. And so the workers, the low-wage workers, unskilled workers, who are thinking they're going to get ahead, going from $15 an hour to $22 an hour, will not get ahead. And more importantly, union workers, represented by unions, will have to pay that cost. We're the ones who will get hurt the worst because our salaries are not going up at the same rate the low-wage workers' salaries at these fast food restaurants are going up. These are facts. This is not just me talking for free. Anybody who's going to college, who has a bachelor's degree in business, accounting, marketing, supply chain, and of course, finance, that's me, finance, can tell you this. Don't let these so-called smarty people on Facebook tell you anything different. When these smarty people on Facebook try to tell you that's not the case, ask them what college did they graduate with their 4-year degree in the business field from, or economics. Ask them that. I want to know, because they should ask for a refund. And so sometimes when I say things and I'm repeating myself on here, I see new people coming on, so I'm trying to recap as fast as I can in 15 to 30 seconds what I've been saying since 5:30 this evening. This is why they're trying to run me out of office. They don't want you to get a 21% pay increase. When have you heard Local 1000 say, the state of California is not our boss, they're not our boss, they are a partner in this 50-50 relationship? They've never told you that and they never will. If they start telling you that, you'll say, well, Richard must have got on their last nerves. Richard must have got on their last nerves. What I'm simply trying to do is inspire you to get you to call this union at 866-471-7348 and tell whoever you talk to, because you want it on record. And you should email the union too. Email your DLC president and tell them, reinstate our president. Give him his powers back so we can get our money. If you think for 1 minute you can get 21% pay increase, you're wrong. You won't get your GO pay. You won't get your COLA. They don't want you to go on strike. Listen, Some people said, well, we can just settle for 14 or 15. Guess what? That's off the table. That's settling. Did the fast food workers have to settle before they got their 47% pay increase? No, they did not. Who's going to benefit from that? The workers think that they're going to benefit from going from $15 an hour to $22 an hour. No, it's the people behind the scenes who want to reach into these fast food workers' money. No, they didn't. I see someone say they went on strike. No, they didn't. Don't believe that. And if they did go on strike, it didn't make headlines. McDonald's workers went on a strike. What I'm saying to you is there are people behind the scenes. SCIU International is one who wants to unionize these workers to make the workers pay them money to be their exclusive representative, which Justice Alito, the Janus decision, June 27, 2018, said exclusive bargaining is an impingement on the freedom of people's association. What does that mean, Richard? That means that exclusive representative clause that we fall under, eventually that's going to the Supreme Court. And it's going to get struck down, should I say. Which means that you won't necessarily have to be represented by Local 1000. Because right now, even if you quit the union, Local 1000 controls your wages and working conditions. They still control it, with your money or without your money. With your voice or without your voice, because they make you pay money to vote. They don't care how you feel. And they know you can't run nowhere else and be represented on your wages and working conditions because of the exclusive representative clause. That will be struck down one day. We have a conservative court. United States Supreme Court. This will end. All right. So I've been talking loud, trying to talk over the air conditioner. And I want people to stay strong. Stay strong. Don't give up. This country was not built off of people giving up. Not even the enslaved Africans, when they were brought over, and I'm a descendant of, gave up. This country, we don't give up. We fight to the very end. And just because the fast food workers will go from $15 an hour to $22 an hour, and their yearly increases will go up to 3.5% of the CPI, just because of that, doesn't mean that we as Local 1000 can't get a substantial pay increase. But if I'm not restored as your president and your chief negotiator with my presidential powers, you will not see a 21% pay increase along with GOP and COLA. You won't see it. Someone says, well, maybe you're wrong, Richard. Maybe they'll run you out of office and we'll still get a 21% pay increase along with COLA that matches the inflation rate year to year, and we'll get GOP. What if that happens, Richard? What about that, Richard? You know what I say to that? Then I did my job. Because it was never about me to begin with. But yet these people have told you that it's all about Richard. He's self-absorbed, self-interested. He's a dictator. No, I was trying to get you paid money and dignity in the workplace. That's all I was trying to do. That's it. See how easy that was for me? I don't have to think about it. It just comes really fast and quick. I'm asking everyone, call 866-471-7348. If you want to cash at me, because you know Local 1000 won't indemnify me as the Local 1000 president, you can cash at me. Just text me at 408-207-2339. We're not going to give up. I'm still fighting this internal HR 1 against me. I'm still fighting the lawsuit. The internal HR 1 is to kick me out of the union. The lawsuit is to kick me off the board of directors. Two separate issues. If you want to read about the lawsuit against me, Sacramento Superior Court website, Department 27. You can look up my name, Richard Lewis Brown. It'll pop up either way. So this idea that I'm trying to keep you in the dark, that I haven't been honest, I haven't been truthful, that is an absolute lie. This is why they're trying to run me out of office. And as long as they can keep us divided over politics, they will. Keep us divided over racism, they will. And when I told you that it's racism and politics are the two reasons, because they're trying to protect the status quo, the money, the political spending of Local 1000 going to SEIU International so they can continue to fund the social agenda of the Democratic Party. I never lied to you, and I never backed off. When people don't like that, when I say that, they say, don't talk about those things. No, that's what I campaigned on. I'm true. I have integrity. I'm sorry that you don't have it too. And when I said that we would shut this state down by going on strike after bargaining in good faith and legally reaching an impact, that's what I meant. I never backed off my platform. If anything, I've gone above and beyond to work with people, and maybe I should not have. There are people in this union who do not have good intentions, and they never have had good intentions. Could they change in the future? Sure, they could. Will they? I don't think so. I think people show you who they are. And by them trying to remove me from office, you're seeing how they feel, not just about me, but you're seeing how a few of these people feel about voting in America. They don't respect your vote. And they think you're ignorant. And they can send you emails 2 or 3 times a week trying to convince you that everything is okay. Everything is not okay in this union. People are upset. They want to know what happened to their president. Remember, before I end this, remember when I say this to you, if I had not, through the grace of God, through Jesus Christ, won this election, all of you would have been vaccinated. All of you would have been vaccinated or lost your job. I'll stop there. My name is Richard Lewis Brown. Today is September 6, 2022. I will do another Zoom tomorrow evening at 6:30 live on Facebook. I'll probably start a few minutes early, maybe 5:45, maybe 6 o'clock. Then I'll start my Zoom at 6:30. It's on my it's on my Facebook page, RL Brown. If you want to come on Zoom tomorrow night at 6:30, I always post up on Facebook when I'm doing my Zooms, and my Facebook Lives can come at any time. Don't give up. I know it's hot outside. We'll get through this hot week. Keep hope alive. Again, I'm Richard Lewis Brown, Richard Jarrell, September 6, 2022. Thank you, and have a great evening. Good night.